Picked up some mild deep stuff earlier on today, and in honour of their new product reveal, thought I'd give the car a proper wash down, bit of cleanse and a bit of snow, just to kind of have a trifecta. You can clearly tell the labels have been updated for the reveal, so it's obviously a clean one. It's an exterior product, ready to use, and you've got the pH as well as a whole bunch of instructions on the back. They haven't quite finished tweaking the label yet. They want to kind of just tidy it up a bit further, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm going to give the car a quick wash, get it all dried out, and we'll focus on the wheels. Anyway, there he is. Bless him, he carries my sorry behind all over the place, so I think it's a good idea to give him a clean every now and again. Alright, I'll just crack on and we'll come back for the wheels in a bit. I will say it is actually sticking to the car quite nicely. It is moving, but quite slowly. It's quite uniform. Really quite therapeutic watching this drop off the car. It's a sponge guru. I can't remember the name of it, but I call it the spiky sponge because spikes. I like this. Gets everywhere. Really quite a lovely sponge. Yep, cleanse, doing its thing. It's lovely and slick. Though to be fair, after snow did its thing, we'll see how bad the bucket is. Right, so let's have a go at the wheel. They've not really been touched other than overspray from the snow foam and shampoo. The tyre looks pretty good because I do have a couple of layers of Auto Bright's Classy Gel, which is maybe not quite as good as Yum's wheel dressing, so it does soak in, it does leave a nice finish. But when I was speaking to Jody, he did say that their new reveal does actually have an impact on tyre dressings if you want to strip them off. So we'll come back and have a look when the tyre's dried and see what it's done. It's actually pretty good right now. A little bit of residue comes off, so we'll see what it does. But according to Jody, with this stuff, you don't want a jet, you don't want a fine mist, and you don't need much. So here we go. Right, give that a moment or two, see what happens. Oh, hang on. You do get nice bubbles, so have a go at the face first and come back for wheels last and see what you can do on those. Does feel nice and slick. No, I'm not a professional painter, and I'm not a pro detailer, so if anybody wants to criticise my brushmanship, fine, don't care. My coat, my rules. Well, it is. I don't think you'll be able to see it on the camera too well, but as I go and agitate, the foam is definitely greyer than it was. It does foam up a little bit. I will say, scent wise, it doesn't have all the usual stuff like iron removers, so you don't get that eggy stink. It's more like a kind of hospital soap smell, so it's not overly unpleasant. Right, barrels, I'm a big fan of these because they reach in and they're very squishy, and they do pick up quite a bit. Do have tire brush. Right. And then a keeve nozzle. Splash. I mean, yeah, I know they always say do the wheels last, but wheels first. But hey, my car, my rules. Right. Well, to be honest, this is probably the best these wheels have been for quite a while. They are hammered wheels, and they probably do need a recoat. They were getting bad at one point, so I had them recoated. It was an emergency job, so it wasn't very expensive. Probably need to get them done a bit better, but then do drive it every day. So yeah. Yup. Yeah. It was quite grimy beforehand. I did the finger swipe thing. It was pretty mucky. So yeah, on the tyre, nope, no residue coming off on the fingers, so we'll come back and do them later. Alright, so yeah, well done Mildy, that's really good, that, I like that, and don't really use much per squirt, so yeah, best of all, doesn't stink. So those of you who do wash in a garage, probably a useful alternative. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, just the last one on the tyre. I've dressed half of it in this stuff. I got it cheap, it smells like bananas. It's not bad actually. You obviously get the kind of, I'd call it gloss minus myself, but you can definitely see a line where it has, with a mild deep reveal, has cleaned it back, knocked it right back. And then I've just put another layer on top, so you can see the line. It is quite clean. There's no residue coming off on my fingers. Now this of course is me doing it. I'm not a pro, so obviously, you know, somebody else will probably get completely different results to me, but I like it. This is quite cool, this. Alright, have fun everybody. I'll be back in a bit. Right, okay, so just to wrap up, done the car, took me about 3 hours, mainly because I was having a pause, chatting to the neighbour, having a brew. I'm English. Tea's massively important. Observing a bumblebee as it tried to escape the car, even though all the doors are open, that was quite entertaining. But yeah, a thoroughly pleasant experience considering the temperature was nice, sun's out, wasn't causing any troubles. Anyway, just to kind of recap how it went, so obviously had to go with snow, cleanse and reveal. I will note throughout I'm probably calling it refresh and various other re's, but it is reveal. I've got the bottle right here so I can see the name now, rather than just hoping on my rather fractured memory, because it's Friday and yeah. Anyway, snow first of all was an absolute joy to use. Clung to the car really well. It was a lovely uniform consistency. Didn't slide off immediately. It didn't stick to the car permanently. It was just a nice gentle snow. And pulled off all the dirt quite easily. I mean, to be fair, my car wasn't completely filthy. We haven't had terrible weather, so it's mostly just kind of dry dust. But it dealt with that no problem. Cleanse. My new favourite soap. I've used it a couple of times before and I've always enjoyed it. It's foams up really well in the bucket. I've applied it with the foam lance, went on really well. Again, stuck to the car quite nicely. Pressure washed off under the sponge, nice and slick in the hands. Lovely and slick experience. Gentle smell. Mild Deep don't have too many heavily perfumed products, so it was fine. It worked really well. It cleaned the car, and I will say that after 3 hours, the bucket still had foam in it, which was quite impressive. Most others will have died by then, but there was still a thin layer of foam on top, and it was not going anywhere. So that was quite impressive. But yes, reveal. We're all here to try. I like this. I think this is my new favourite wheel cleaner product. Is it going to tackle really hard wheels? Probably not. But it went on nice and easily. It did sort of begin to ooze off the wheel, which was fine. It's a liquid. Agitated really nicely, felt nice and slick under the brush. The foam that it created was going grey. It was clearly working on whatever grime was on the wheel. And something I didn't show on the camera, but I did see with these two eyes, which do work better than the brain, there was a hint of browning as it was sort of gently chewing away at the tyres. So they came up really, really clean. So yeah, overall quite impressed, and fantastic little product, very, very economical, and still after 4 kind of, shall we say, I lean more towards the Nick McGurk approach of applying products than the Ivan LaCroix approach, of just enough. I always like to build in a safety margin. No, it was very, very good. The bottle's still nice and heavy after doing 4 wheels, so yeah, I could probably get quite a few after that. And as I said, it doesn't really have much of a strong scent. It's more like a kind of hospital soap smell, I would say. Others may disagree because scent is subjective, but I'd sort of put it in hospital soap category. Years ago, I remember them having something called carbolic soap, which was heavily aggressive at cleaning stuff, but did its job, and it wasn't a pleasant smell. Kind of like that. So some slightly odd flashbacks, but otherwise, yeah, it's not a smell that lingered very badly. It stuck to the wheel, it cleaned the wheel, and left the wheel quite nice and clean and tidy. And if you have to clean inside a garage, I'd recommend having a go at this, because really didn't leave much of a scent, so that was quite pleasant. So yeah, there we go. That's my thoughts on the whole thing. I have a nice clean shiny car now ready for tomorrow, and have a good evening. See you all next time.